Welcome, everyone, to another deep look into the paranormal podcast where mystery meets insight. I am your host, Jennifer Wills, with my co host and lovely husband, David Wills. Say hello.
Hello.
Today, we are actually going to skip across the pond and visit or delve into the kind of twisted and dark history of Leap Castle in Ireland. You've got
Okay.
you've got some roots, family roots in Ireland, right?
I do. My mother was born in Ireland. She moved to England when she was a teenager with her family. She graduated a nurse and came to the States, and that's where she met my father.
It's cute. I like that little story. A little love story. Because you never know. Unless you do no travel, you might find love in the weirdest of places or, you know, abroad, right?
Very true.
And she was a lovely lady. She was. She loved her bingo,
No
too.
matter how many times she fought with you.
Yes. But that right there is two Irish people at heart there. That's how you show your love. A little bit of a squabble, right?
Right.
All right. Like I said, we are going to be talking about Leap Castle. And this is the front of Leap Castle. And so we can kind of take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Gothic style design. It was built around 1250 AD, and rumored to have been actually built in 1250 CE. So there's some discrepancies depending on where you go of when it was truly actually built. Which a lot of historical places have that discrepancy, if you honestly think about it.
The older it gets, the less likely the records are correct.
Right, right, very much true. Um, it is believed to have over 800 years of history within its walls and grounds. The first being with the O'Bannon family.
It's O'Bannon or O'Bannon?
Bannon, it's O apostrophe Bannon. Bannon.
O'Bannon, yeah.
Brothers, they were basically. This is where when you have, families that dwelt with dwelt. That's even a word. Um, when you had like, oh no, I'm the eldest, so I deserve it all, or oh no, I like did this for the family, so I deserve it. A lot of that discrepancy and inner fighting turmoil over. I don't want to say this, but when they're kind of raised kind of like spoiled brats.
Mm-hmm. No, it's truth. I mean,
Um, and that's only because I only say that is because if they were at peace with everything, they'd been like, you know what, if you want it that bad, take it. But we have to reflect back on the past and see that during that time, having wealth, having, grand things was considered a statement of status, which was
okay. That's
un-
true.
unfortunate, but true. Um, the brothers were at odds with whom would inherit their father's riches because apparently he never set in stone who would get what, when, where, and why.
Oh, yeah, that always leads to law, family, and fighting.
Yes. So the one brother proposed a competition and suggested as a compromise for the two of them for ownership of the castle, the wealth, and control over the family clan. They would leap off the huge or the biggest rock located at the site of where the castle was. Whomever survived would win.
Oh, that seems really dumb. I'm guessing the one who went last won.
They were supposed to go together at the same time.
Yeah, we know that game.
Yes. However, when attempted, the one brother cheated and didn't leap, allowing the other brother to fall to his death. The castle,
Oof.
yes, that castle was originally known as Lim. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's Leimu space Ui space Bhanain,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that.
or O'Bannon's Leap.
Okay,
So
that I can understand.
it was named basically because of that orchestrated uh, foul play.
Yeah.
Um, the let's see, the O'Bannon family clan was pledged to the O'Carrolls. This is when the O'Carrolls come into it. The O'Carrolls liked the castle and took it from the O'Bannons.
Okay. O'Carroll from the O'Bannon.
Yes, some believe that it was O'Carrolls who built the castle, but it was actually the O'Bannons. O'Bannons. Um, the O'Carrolls were far worse off than the O'Bannons in regards to inner fighting. The O'Carrolls were warmongers. They used the castle inside and out for battles and massacres. O'Carrolls were known for repeated rivalry battles and assassinating one another. I mean, openly doing it. They didn't care if there were other people in the room, they would walk right up to somebody and stab them. Or have a
Good,
dinner
good to know.
or have a dinner party and poison everyone.
Yeah, Game of Thrones comes from places, people. It comes from actual history at times.
Yes. It's unfortunate, but um let's see here. In 1513 and again later on, like I think it's 1516, um Earl of Kildare or Kildare and Gerald Fitzgerald tried to seize the castle and failed both times to take it from the O'Carrolls, but was successfully damaged it in the process of attempting to do so. That's why you could kind of see, if you can see my cursor, you see there's some damage here. There's some damage off to the side here when you look at other, as well as in the back from when they attempted the assault. Um, and I believe there's a little bit of damage over here as well. Let's see here. Following the death of Mulrooney O'Carroll in 1532, the clan began to fall apart because he didn't name an heir to his estate or riches. So, like the O'Bannons, he didn't name an heir, and the infighting started all over again. Well, in a way. The first son, Thaddeus, was a priest for the family and often held mass for them in what's now known as the Bloody Chapel. The second son, I think it's Thighe, Te Te T
Thighe.
T E sorry Teighe. So
Tay.
Te Te
Eigh is an A sound.
okay Te believed he was the rightful heir. He was also known as the One Eye O'Carroll. When um so you got this peace loving individual who's trying to spread the word of God, trying to hold mass, trying to do what he can to help absolve the sins of his family members, which there were many. Um, and then you have One Eye O'Carroll, who went into the chapel during mass, right in the middle of it, and slaughtered his brother, Thaddeus, right in front of everyone. He ended up passing.
Ugh.
Yeah, he ended up passing away, um, basically where the pulpit was. Did anyone say anything?
Oh, now
No.
I remember this place. Okay.
Yes. That's why they call it the Bloody Chapels, because his brother was
Yep.
slaughtered there. That is his body gave out at the altar. Some of the bloodshed from fighting the O'Carrolls uh, have done what I'm trying to read my own notes and I can't read them. Some of the bloodshed that they had done in result to a lot of the things that they did, or believed in, or acted out, was so
Mm-hmm.
intense it was actually left out of history books. It wasn't notated because it was that gruesome.
Okay.
But
That's
it was spread by word of mouth though.
yeah.
The O'Carrolls hired Manhun, MacMahon clan members to train and themselves teach the O'Carrolls themselves new, more effective ways of warfare. And upon completion, and instead of receiving payment, they were all poisoned. They didn't pay the trainers. They just poisoned them to death. So you can see there's a lot of dark and twisted history going on here.
Yeah.
And this isn't a big castle, as you can see. It's not that big of a castle. Mm. Um, Funny that you mentioned Game of Thrones. Um, the O'Carrolls and their endless battles were so gruesome that the entirety of Game of Thrones season combined, so all that stuff that was reflected, all the battles, all the, fighting, was far more gruesome than even that. They actually
Yep. Yep.
compared it to Game of Thrones. Anyone
I
who,
shouldn't laugh, but yeah.
what do you mean?
The fact that reality is far often more gruesome than the things we find in fiction.
Yes, that is very true because it is. I don't like saying this, but it's human nature
That's
to
true.
one up. You know, it's unfortunate but true. Um, Anyone who double crossed or lied to the O'Carrolls were often were often killed or thrown into Ireland's first oubliette, along with any other enemies. Which an oubliette is basically a long pit that's internal within the castle, and at the bottom has thick wooden spikes. And you didn't always die on impact. It could be slow, agonizing death.
Yeah, because you can't get back up again. And it's infection and a wound, and
They did have a door to the
that was
oubliette,
usually locked.
always locked. And back then, those doors were heavy wooden doors with iron bands. You are not in the state that you would end up in at the bottom of that. You would not be able to even dent that door. They were thick
Yeah.
and heavy. Um, and there was a reason why they had a door, but I do apologize about the cough. I have a bit of a cold, so I do apologize. Um, the oubliette was a hidden pit that contained large wooden spikes. Not all that were thrown in died immediately. And the thing is, they were left there. So you could be in having mass, you could be eating Sunday lunch or what have you, and you could actually smell the stink coming from that pit.
Yeah.
We will take a look at it later on. Um, Oubliette is actually a derivative from a French word meaning to forget. 1659, the Warring O'Carrolls were long dead finally, and the castle was passed to the Darby family through marriage. Um, let's see here. And the castle itself was remained within the Darby family for a good century or two until the last of the Darbys that were there, Mildred and Jonathan Darby. Um, they were the last of that family before they were driven out. They actually dabbled a little bit in the occult. Mildred was actually a famous Gothic novelist. Um,
Okay.
they would bring people in and hold seances, and that's as bad as playing with a Ouija board. You open those doors, and if you don't close them properly, it leaves the door open.
Very true.
Both Jonathan and Mildred, with guests, conducted the seances. They are rumored to have some of the things that drove them out were the rumor that they raised rent and sold off pieces of land to start renovations on the castle. Um, but they were eventually run off because they were English, not Irish, from some. What's so funny?
Just it's a, if you ever seen the river that separates England and Ireland, it's not that big. And I know it's technically part of the ocean, but it's a river.
Okay.
And
Uh, Go ahead.
just the way people treat each other over a little bit of a land a ways away.
Yeah. But again, it boils down to having ownership and status.
Yeah.
Um, it was believed that 12 men broke in and destroyed everything, torching it during the Irish Civil War. Some believe it was a British Civil War, depending on which direction you're looking at it. Um, but there is a rumor that the Darbys actually torched it themselves for insurance money. Greed begets greed.
Oof.
Um, and if that wasn't the case, you know, you know why it would explain why they ran, you know, because their house is on fire.
Yeah.
But the fire was July 30th, 20 or July 30th, yeah, 20. July 30th, 1922. It is rumored that Jonathan Darby left a hidden treasure that even he forgot its location somewhere on the property. Um, After its destruction, Mr. Darby obtained a reinstatement estimate from, it looks like Beckett and Metcalf surveyors in Dublin that was issued September of 1922. The net amount of that claim was $22,684.19 in pounds, which is the equivalent of about 1 million euros in 2018. Darby later settled for a lesser amount.
Whoa.
Why?
That's a, yeah. Why?
Unless he was hiding something. A-
It's altogether possible.
After that, the castle was abandoned for 50 years. It was finally purchased in 1974 by an Australian descendant of the original owners named Peter Bartlett. Bought the castle and began renovations until his passing in 1989. In 1991, the current owner, Sean Ryan, and his wife purchased the castle, which you'll see pictures of Sean, and continued and still continues to work on the restoration of the castle. What do you think about that? That people are actually actively trying to restore this castle.
I believe it. I mean, it's part of history. It's not. It looks right now bad because of the burnt out area and the one section right here. Of course, it's still being the windows are gone, but this is a sturdy castle. I've seen a lot of that sounds weird to say, but I've seen a lot of ruins in Ireland, and a lot of them are just like you can barely see the slabs that were used for like the cornerstone of the building. For
Yes.
this building's age, it is very well intact. It is still very beautiful, and it's got good bones. I can
Yes.
understand people want to fix it.
Yes. Um. However, like every place, it just depends on how things go. Um, is haunted. You can go anywhere, and it's more likely haunted. Reason being is spirits don't go on your timetables. Okay, they go on theirs, on when they choose when they want to be active and when they don't. And the reason why I say that is because they might not want to deal with you, or they might not like you, and they will let you the hell know. Same with
It's all really possible.
the reason I say that is because they did not like Sean at first. The spirits were not happy with Sean, to the point where they would physically assault him. He was doing work on a ladder one time, and he was actually ripped from it and thrown across the room. He did suffer some injuries, but um, he actually had to bargain with them before they stopped tormenting him. He basically said that, he wanted to restore the place, to fix it up, and that they were free to stay there as well as long as they wanted to, because it was their home too. And
Hmm.
it seemed to appease the spirits, and they let him alone since then. So right there, you know you've already got intelligent hauntings. Um, Sean believes the castle was built by the O'Carrolls, not the O'Bannons. The Ryans will, which is Sean and his wife, will let investigators into the castle under their supervision, which I can respect that. I mean, that's their home. They will let paranormal investigators in, but they're gonna watch you. You know
Yeah, no, it's a historical site nonetheless. I mean,
exactly. Leap Castle was featured on shows such as Sam and Colby, ABC's Scariest Places on Earth, Living TV's Most Haunted, Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters, and Ghost Adventures. There's a speculation that the castle was built on a store structure that was ceremonial in nature and consists with the Neolithic times. Um, could the My thing is, could the land be considered cursed? What do you think? Do you think the land's cursed? That's why it just seems like there's just bloodshed
there's a
upon
lot of
bloodshed upon bloodshed.
greed. Yeah,
Like
the
something.
land there can definitely have a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm thinking there is. There's something to have it go on for so long with different families, different generations. There's got to be something going on. Um. Also, there's speculation that uh, it was built on an Iron Age settlement site.
An Iron A, oh, an Iron Age settlement site.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Unfortunately, not. That's what I found out. I would love to.
Okay,
Um,
sometimes it's not. I don't know the correct terminology for this, so I can't speak from experience.
because I went
Hmm.
through. Let's see here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, seven, eight different sites getting this information together. Um, and they didn't actually any of them mention. So I'm wondering if that is more a speculated thing. Like I said, it was speculation. And since there's no definite, that might be just a no hearsay. But then again, we don't know because we weren't there at that time. You know?
No, that's true.
But let's go back and talk about the oubliette. I'm gonna go oubliette, but the oubliette. Okay,
Okay.
Sean finally cleared it out.
How many bodies?
It took 3 cartloads to clear the entirety of the oubliette of human remains.
How big of cart?
I don't know, but you'll see what it looks like. You'll see what the oubliette looks like here in a little bit, and you will see that's pretty bad. I'm from what I surmise from what I've read, it was quite it, it was a lot. It was a lot. Let's talk now about the hauntings. Sorry, folks, we do like to discuss the history and what led up to it, so you can get to understand some of the why the hauntings take place. Okay. Um, it is believed that some spirits there are actually kind, like Thaddeus. His ac-
Okay.
he is actually kind of he's found to be sad and depressed sometimes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's also known as the Bloody Chapel Priest. The smell of burning rubber is often associated with him. There are often reports of lights shining on occasion from the chapel windows, even though there's no electricity in that room.
That's always a good way to go. Oopsie, something's not right.
Yep. There is a lady in red there, a tall, slender woman in a red dress that carries a knife. It is believed that she was a victim of the O'Carrolls, was pregnant, but the O'Carrolls killed the baby, and she used the same knife to take her own life.
Okay.
So that's why she
Sounds
wants.
more like.
She's kind of more of a vengeful spirit as well as a sad one. There's an elemental there. It is a dark, malevolent entity described as a decaying human-like figure associated with a pungent stench of rotting flesh. Some believe it is summoned by druidic practices or violent deaths within the castle. You think?
Well, the castle's got a history of it.
But the thing is, what is associated with the smell of rotten flesh?
Zombie.
Demon. Demonic.
I thought demon was more just the smell of sulfur.
No, a lot of times it's like rotten meat as
Okay.
well. It's not just sulfur. So that could be why it's malevolent. It might be a mixture of demonic energies and the unjustified murders victims. There's also 2 children spirits that are there, Emily and Charlotte. These 2 girls are often seen playing in the main hall and stairwell. Emily died from a fall, and Charlotte from illness.
Okay.
It's sad. Slamming doors, footsteps, removal of pictures from the wall. Some disembodied voices, physical touching. Um, but yeah, it's like I do apologize again. But there's all sorts of different kinds of things going on here. It's doesn't have that many known spirits, but again, spirits, if it is an intelligent haunt, will choose when they become active. A lot of times they won't become active, especially if you antagonize them. You'll get the opposite effect. They clam up.
Yeah.
Unless it's a malevolent spirit, then you might get a reaction you don't like. But my thing is with the elemental, is it an elemental or is it possibly what they call an egregore? Which is
Remind me and everyone at home when Igor is.
It's a collection of energies that form something that has become inhuman, or something that is inhuman. It's like a mixture of things and essences that take on life of its own. And in this case, I would see it more as an egregore than an elemental, because you have all the people who die slowly and painfully from the oubliette. You
Hmm.
have all the people who were murdered due to the fighting and backstab and betrayals.
True.
And then you have people going in and out trying to investigate this place. So every time you go somewhere, you leave a little piece of you. Not big, but a little piece of you. Just like you take a little
Hmm.
piece of it with you. So you got all this mixing and churning, and you got all this despair and hopelessness and anger. More so anger, and it forms into something that can be malevolent.
No, oh, I can understand that reasoning, huh?
But what do you think? Do you think it might be an elemental?
Um, sort of. Simply because we're looking at the various ways that the Earth itself can be affected by certain activities, certain maliciousness, and the oubliette.
Well, that's the thing. If you look,
People,
go ahead.
people, when they reach a certain level of ripeness, return to the Earth.
Yes.
So if you had the land that was itself was showing a wound, the dead bodies are just part of the land at that point.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It could also be the
Circle,
elemental because it could just be what?
like a circle of life.
Yeah, the elemental could just be taking the aspects of the things that it has there.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. 1 second. All right. All right. You let's. I just pulled up spiritual elemental and
Hmm.
egregore. Spiritual elemental is conscious nature or conscious nature spirit, or a being of pure spiritual energy deeply connected into the fundamental forces of the natural world, such as earth, water, fire, air, and sometimes spirit or ether.
Hmm.
Egregore. Egregore is a concept describing a collective thought formed for a shaped psychic entity created by the collective thoughts, emotions, and beliefs of a group of people. Um, they literally become a manifestation. So,
Okay.
so do you still believe it to be more of a elemental based on those descriptions, or an egregore? It's okay to have
Based
your
on,
belief, whichever way you go.
I'm going to pose something else. Why not both?
It could be.
Yeah,
It
because
could
it
shift
fits the
forms.
descriptions of yeah.
It could shift forms. You're right. It could be. With that in mind, would you like to take a little tour and discuss some things?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Here is the coat of arms for the O'Carrolls, just so everyone can kind of get a feel of it.
Are those dogs or are those?
I believe those are supposed to be lions.
Yeah. Okay. I see it.
But this is the Bloody Chapel.
Okay.
This is where the murder happened with um, Thaddeus and, well, One-Eyed Carol. Um, there's
Okay.
a lot of, this is where a lot of the light phenomenon happens. Um, you can get that burnt rubber smell. Sometimes you feel
Mm-hmm.
sadness. I do apologize again. Sadness and like depression, but nothing ever truly dark. So no, like, no maliciousness, no anger.
Okay.
Here is the first picture of the oubliette.
I don't get good feelings on that.
Yeah, it is a deep pit. That's, I believe, like 4 or 5 feet right there just by itself, and then it goes down further, much further. Okay, this is the stairwell leading from the top of where the oubliette starts all the way down to where the door is, to give you some perspective how long it is.
Man, you gotta remember how much shorter and smaller people were in the past.
But still, that's pretty dang long. That's a pretty
No, it's
hefty
long.
fall.
Yeah, no, it's just the steps.
Okay, just to put in perspective, I know you can't really see it well, but that red thing from the first oubliette picture was actually a folding chair.
Yikes.
This is a ladder from the tippy top down.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't go down there. I just wouldn't.
That is, that's just to show you more perspective on the depth. This is Mildred Darby. And this
When
is,
was that taken?
um, I don't know. I know it's a wedding picture of hers.
It looks like she's crying her eyes out.
Like she's not happy?
Yeah.
Could be. This is Mr. Darby.
Okay, he's not too bad.
No,
I mean, definitely has got the Bowie hair going on, the
really,
labyrinth hair.
really.
I'm just saying.
This is the current owner, Sean Ryan. He is the one who's currently attempting to renovate, fix it up, and everything, which I applaud him for attempting to do. Here is one of the main dining areas of, like I said, the place isn't that big, but it's more like the rooms are more tall than it is wide. If you can understand what I'm saying there.
Yeah, I would.
Um,
I'd love to rent it out for a D&D game.
that would be fun. They do have that in England though. I believe it is. Here
Mm-hmm.
here is a picture of one of the rooms looking out onto the front lawn.
Is
Here's
that a little toy train for kids to play on?
that I don't know. I think that's actually more like a that might be like a little chicken coop.
Oh, okay. No, it's a chicken coop.
Here's the front entrance. You can definitely see that by these doors, you could tell that they were definitely framed to be thick and sturdy against things like
Mm-hmm.
ramming. Um, but yeah, this. Oh, and that one room that you saw, I believe that we saw out onto the main area was this one.
Okay. So the chicken coop's way over there.
Yeah, it's over on this side. Um, but that is Leap Castle for you. What do you think about it? There's a lot of history, exchanging of hands, a lot of death. That place is soaked in blood.
Yeah, it's for as much blood has gone through there, it's not as big as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's still impressive. It's still a beautiful building,
Yes.
but you expect something more grand to be that hold that much blood within it.
Yeah.
Now, it does have extremely dark history to it. Yes, that is
Most
just
definitely.
dark.
The reason why I'm wondering if this place is not cursed in regards to the land being cursed is they went even after their own family members.
Yeah, that kind of betrayal added with the kind of vengeance people are going after, the need.
It's either that or their bloodline was cursed.
Yeah, that's all the other possible too. But the fact that it was two families
Yeah. Well,
tends to make me think
technically
that
three different families if you think about it.
yeah, true, true.
Well, now four with Ryan's.
Because the story of the lady, uh, I didn't hear about the baby being killed
Yeah.
the first time. I actually heard the story where it was they sent off the boy she liked and they told him he died and she killed himself while he was approaching. If she had just looked out the other window, she would have seen him.
I've heard that as well. Um, it her story is one of the mysteries of the of that place is it depends on how you want to spin it. Either way, regardless of either which way you go at it, there she took her own life, regardless,
Yeah, and that
and why
there's
she did
never
it.
positive emotion about that.
Yeah. Um, there was even speculation that she had been unfortunately taken advantage of in a physical sense, and
Yeah, because the past is the worst.
yeah, if you can get the meaning on that one, and that caused her to go mad. It is all dependent on how you look at it, but the
There's
outcome is
also
still
a
the same.
real there's
And
also a real
it's
possibility that she didn't take her own life.
yes,
That
very
it was a convenient lie to say to cover
yet
their own
another
backside.
murder. Yes,
Because I hate to say it this way, but the past was very notorious for just
being sketchy.
not being awful to women.
Yes, absolutely.
So
It is unfortunate. It does have, like I said, it does have a dark history. The hauntings are very much real. They have been recorded um, by numerous accounts, not just those who've lived there, but by others who have visited. And
is it that road that's going off to the side there? Yeah, there's the big curve of the other road. Is
this
that the
one,
one that goes down by the river?
this one,
Yeah.
I do believe so. Yes.
Okay. That's why I also wonder about elemental because if I remember correctly, that river is known to have a water spirit.
Yes, the kelpies.
The ones to drown people. I didn't know if it was a kelpie, a siren, or
They
a
the
nymph.
we are actually going to delve into that in the next episode.
Okay,
Um,
so
specific,
Leeds Castle,
yeah.
part
Um,
two.
in a way, yes. Um, but the spirits that are believed to be there are the kelpies, but they could be
Okay,
actually
yeah,
found anywhere. But we will explain the Kelpies more in the next episode, along with such thing as mermaids slash sirens and the mega snake, which is a water-based reptilian creature. Um, but that's for another time and another date here in 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
for now, though, hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Hit the like button if you like, dislike if you dislike. It's through your interactions that we grow as a group, as a community, and we will, like I said, see you next time. This is Jennifer David Wills with the People Who Give the Paranormal Podcast, where mystery meets insight in Lake Castle. Take care.
Be safe out there, everybody.
Bye-bye.